Hey, I'm Robert Buckley, and I'm on FrConventions. There was a lot of pressure going into it. I think mostly, if not entirely, self-imposed. I put the pressure on myself. But I remember thinking, very clearly I remember thinking, 2 people have left and 2 new people have joined. If this show struggles in any way, I am at least 50% to blame. Like, there's only 2 new things, so like I'm at least responsible for half of it. So I remember thinking, oh, please don't be a bad season. Like, I hope the ratings stay good, because otherwise I would have felt terrible. Yeah, it worked out, we're okay. In Wilmington, I think the first person I met was James. We went out and had dinner together. And the next person I met was Shantel. It was great, and we benefited from the fact that we were the only 2 new kids in season 7, well, at least from the start of season 7. So we were in the same exact situations. We kind of were having the same experience together, which brought us very close very quickly. And I think that lent itself to us having kind of an easy chemistry and a good dynamic that we were able to carry over onto the screen. Did I expect it to be? No. Did I hope it would be? Yes. Because I know for myself as a comic book fan, I thought that was such an awesome scene. And because by that point comics had become, with Logan, had become such a part of the story, I just thought they nailed it. That was the perfect way for Clay to ask Quinn to marry him. I didn't realize it was trending on TikTok.
It is, yeah. People love it.
I might have to get on the TikTok. Yeah. All that I recall specifically was that it was incredibly hot in the house that we were shooting in, and even more so in the tent that we were all in. So we were shooting the scene and trying to look like we were super cozy in like pajamas and sleeping bags, and in reality it was so hot that as soon as they called cut, we'd be like, ugh, get a fan in here. So it was not as cozy and comfortable as it looked. Yes, I think at the time I didn't even realize there was any other way to be. I just sort of went, like, of course you're going to be accepting and like love is love, you know? But now, having had more life experience and looking back as a parent especially, I think it's great the way that was handled, because that's the way it should be, you know? It's like, whether it's a biological kid or an adopted kid, that's still your child, you know? And so I think it was handled well with the way that Quinn was so accepting and loving towards Logan. Yes, entirely, because I really like James as a person, and I enjoy being playful with him. He's one of those friends that really brings out my most immature side. So when we got to actually do scenes where we were just being friends, it was probably the closest to me just being Rob as opposed to being Clay, because I was just sitting in the back of a truck with a pig and my buddy, you know, and we were just like laughing at it. So those scenes were some of my favorite that we shot. It was weird. I had never done one before my first One Tree Hill convention, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how I felt about it, but I just sort of went in with an open mind, like, okay, let's try this. But now I love them, you know, because I get to come to a city like Paris, which is incredible. It's like this freebie mini vacation. I love interacting with the fans. Our fan base is awesome. People are kind. It's not a toxic fan base. It's kind of all love at these things. And then selfishly, I get to see all these people, all these friends who I don't get to see very often in my adult life, you know? And so like we get backstage and we're like, oh my God, how are you, you know? And it's all love, and so it's like a weekend getaway to summer camp. Great question. Absolutely, I'd want to see Clay in it. Completely. I made that abundantly clear, like, hey, if you're looking for cast members to return, I'm your guy. As to what Clay would be doing, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I'm very excited to see what they cook up, because I think there's a lot of different ways it could go, and I know they're putting a lot of thought into it, so I'm just excited if Clay is in it, or when Clay shows up. I'm curious to see sort of what will be going on in Clay's world. Oh man, I mean, they don't need, I mean, listen, I am 100% supportive and encouraging of them. I'm very vocal about that. And Daniil as well, who's doing this with them. But the show, if it doesn't end up happening, it's gonna be in great hands. Because those three, A, they're very good at what they do. B, they're taking their time with it to make it the best that it could possibly be. So I feel like the show's in good hands. You know, if they wanted to just do something for like a cash grab or whatever, it would already have happened. You know, they've been working on this for, boy, I don't even know, it's like 5 years, 10 years or something. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, just as far as encouragement goes, you got this. It's gonna be great. You all are doing it. It was a blast because Hillary and I never crossed paths on One Tree Hill. And Tyler and I never crossed paths on One Tree Hill that I'm aware of. And Antoine, we never really had any direct stuff that I'm aware of. I'm sure we were in group scenes together. So it was sort of like finally getting to play with these friends who went to like the next school over, where it's like, I know you and we're the same age and we should hang out, but we've never done it yet. So that set was a ton of fun, especially there was like a few days where all of us were in on the same day. Like there's a scene when we go to whatever, the Christmas jamboree that Tyler plays at, you know, and Daniil was there, Antoine was there, Tyler was there, Hillary was there, I was there. So that was so much fun. A, because everyone in that group is fun, but also because we were like, how cool is this? It was like a third of the cast of One Tree Hill doing this movie together. So that was fun.